hope you're doing well. We'll start with the QDB scores just because I'm on that tab, and just to say is that we've got a very skewed sentiment on a lot of pairs. Pound CAD is 97% long, so that's ridiculous, and then you've got some very skewed pairs up here. In fact, the only one that's not really that skewed are the ones in the middle, and you could probably argue Aussie, Swiss and Kiwi USD. Everything else is very extreme. So we've got to be careful basically, and we've got a potential reversal on pound CAD because we're so extreme. Okay, let's look at risk calc. Technicals are improving. We were on 12 and I think we were 32, and today we're 40, so that's improving over time. But however, the herd are going ever so slightly long, so it's slightly ominous. Okay, and technical scores are improving. If we go above 50, then it will go to green, right? And we'll have to wait and see. This is the mixed picture that we had yesterday, and the dollar improved, but yet so did the indices. They also, we end up in positive territory with the dollar, which is slightly unusual, but it can happen. Let's look at your indices and gold. And we got the gold set up correct yesterday, but the stop loss would have got us out, so it's slightly annoying, but it's important to know where your stop is. And with DAX, they're going long, so that's not really ideal. We're probably going to have to continue to fall, and we can mark these boxes. This like candle here matches this crossover, so we know that's going to be resistance because they've gone long, and then we create a supply. So that's how it works. So you get the trading station, you map the cross, put a box, and then that's going to be resistance. Okay, and S&P, so we know we've got some demand because they've sold, so we can create some demand here, so we can draw a box, a rectangle, and we can draw a box here, right? And also that we've got a left shoulder head, right shoulder scenario. Okay, so we'll have to wait and see. If this falls, it's going to hurt our robot because we're risk on our robot. Okay, so if we go risk off and we have like a government shutdown, which is possible in America, then our robot is going to encounter some pretty bad losses because we've accumulated a lot of risk on trades. Okay, so we need this to come up basically. US 30, and hopefully you guys don't mind the short videos, because I think it's probably better to make a 6-7 minute video there as opposed to something that goes on like 12-15 minutes, because no one's really got time to watch a long video. We're slightly sideways here, but they've sold it, so we can create a box. Okay, there's a rectangle, that's fine. It's funny, my VPS is a lot more responsive today. It's strange. I was saying that it took a while to draw that box, so this is going to be a demand because they've sold it. Okay, so we coincided that, and also it's worth noting that we did flip to sell there ever so slightly, but then the herd sold it, so that was very handy. Okay, so we did flip to sell at the big picture. It means that we've got a lot more room to the downside. If they want to sell it, we're not going to be very extreme. Okay, so that's possibly going to be a bottom, potentially. And then S&P, and we'll look at, it started at DAX, didn't we? We'll look at gold. Yeah, just the saying that they're going long on DAX, but we'll look at gold quickly. And so we got the direction right, because what had happened is that they've gone long, and so we're falling, so that's fine. And this is why we've got this box. I was saying to wait for this box to break. We did break, but then we propelled higher. We've rallied $5. My stop, well, the theoretical stop was about $3, so it was this little spike here that would have caught you out here. And so I guess you need a little bit of a wider stop, but if you've got a wider stop you need a more reward. So that's the tricky thing about trade, and you could probably go for a 1R, but you're probably not going to make a lot of money doing it that way. But I think you probably will need slightly wider stops if something as crazy as the gold, because you see some very erratic spike and volatility. And so let's look at the robot. The robot needs risk on, like I say, and we've got lots of Aussie USD longs. We've got some CJ sells. Okay, and they're probably going to go to their stop loss because the yen is just basically getting slapped around and it's getting bullied, and you know, that's what it is, isn't it? So if we do go risk on, it's possibly we're going to encounter some loss. We'll have 100 pip loss there, 100 pip loss there, but potentially we've got a lot of pips to profit on the Aussie USD. But it all depends on risk appetite. So if we're at S&P, the Dow Jones, we fall really heavily, which is possible, then we're going to have some huge losses. All right, so this is why we've got to be testing demo, and you know, the regularity of those signals is slightly strange every hour, which it shouldn't have been. It should have been at the sell change. So it's kind of strange why it's done it that way. So we'll have to keep an eye on things, and we'll report back later tonight with the robot testing. And we need risk on. So if you just got some spare time, look at your trading view and look at you know, your indices. And if they're red, then it's possibly going to be pretty bad for the robot. If the indices are green, it's going to be good for the robot. So it's basically at the whims of the big fish and what they want to do with the indices. And if we fall on this, we're going to have some pretty bad losses. So you've got to be careful. Probably don't go live yet. Be patient, and I'll speak to you guys soon.